The year is 451 AD. The Western Roman Empire is in decline, torn apart by political infighting and external invasions. The legions that once ruled the known world are a shadow of their former strength. But now a new and terrifying threat has emerged, a warlord who strikes fear into the hearts of all who oppose him. His name is Attila, known as the Scourge of God. He is the ruler of the Huns, a nomadic people from the Eurasian steppes who have carved a path of destruction across Europe. Attila sets his sights on the Western Roman provinces, particularly Gaul, modern-day France. His army, a fearsome force of cavalry and barbarian allies, sweeps through the region, burning cities and slaughtering all who resist. No army seems capable of stopping him. The Roman defenses crumble, and city after city falls: Metz, Reims, Strasbourg. The Huns pillage and burn everything in their path. As they approach the vital city of Orleans, the fate of the Western Roman Empire hangs in the balance. In 441 AD, Attila launched devastating raids into the Balkans, forcing Emperor Theodosius II to pay a massive tribute in gold just to keep the Huns at bay. By the late 440s, Attila had effectively extorted the Eastern Roman Empire, making them pay enormous amounts of tribute in gold each year to avoid invasion. But Attila was not satisfied. His sights were now set on the Western Roman Empire, which he saw as weaker and ripe for conquest. In 450 AD, Attila found the perfect excuse to invade Western Roman territory. The Roman princess Honoria, sister of Emperor Valentinian III, sent a secret plea for help to Attila, along with her engagement ring. She wanted to escape a forced marriage, and Attila saw this as an opportunity. He demanded half of the Western Roman Empire as his dowry. Rome, of course, refused. Furious, Attila declared war and led his army of Huns, Ostrogoths, Gepids, and other barbarian allies into Gaul. His goal was simple: to conquer and destroy everything in his path. Attila's campaign was swift and brutal. His army of 200,000 warriors swept through Gaul like a storm, destroying cities, killing thousands, and striking terror into the hearts of Romans. Facing imminent destruction, Rome turns to one man, Flavius Aetius, a brilliant Roman general and one of the last great commanders of the empire. But Aetius knows that the Roman army alone is not enough to stop Attila. He needs allies, and he must turn to a former enemy, the Visigoths, led by King Theodoric I. Though Rome and the Visigoths have fought bitter wars in the past, they now share a common goal: stopping Attila before he destroys them both. If they failed to stop Attila here, there would be nothing left to stand between him and the heart of the Roman Empire. And so on June 20, 451 AD, on the vast fields of the Catalaunian Plains, two of the most powerful armies in history met in a battle that would decide the fate of Western Europe. On one side stood Attila the Hun, the most feared warlord of his time, leading a massive force of Huns, Ostrogoths, and other barbarian allies. On the other, an unlikely coalition of Romans, Visigoths, Franks, and Alans, led by Flavius Aetius and King Theodoric of the Visigoths. Aetius and Theodoric knew they were outnumbered, but their plan was to hold the Hunnic charge in the center while the Visigoths and Romans attacked the flanks. If they could break Attila's allies, the Huns would be forced to retreat. The battle turned into a brutal melee. King Theodoric himself fought in the thick of the battle, but during the chaos, he was struck down, either by an enemy spear or trampled by his own men. For a moment, the Visigoths wavered, but then Theodoric's son Thorismund took command. Enraged by his father's death, he led a ferocious counterattack, pushing Attila's forces back. Seeing his flanks collapse, Attila was forced to fall back. The Huns retreated toward their camp, but the Visigoths and Romans pursued them, determined to end the battle once and for all. Attila and his army escaped back to their homeland, humiliated but still a threat. Though he would attempt another invasion of Italy in 452 AD, he never recovered from his defeat at the Catalaunian Plains. A year later, Attila died suddenly, and his empire soon collapsed without his leadership. The Battle of the Catalaunian Plains was one of the last great victories of the Western Roman Empire. It was a turning point in European history, the moment when Attila, the Scourge of God, was finally stopped. Though Rome would not last much longer, Flavius Aetius's victory ensured that Western Europe would not fall under Hunnic rule. This was the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains, the battle that stopped Attila the Hun.